My name is Reshmi Misra and I am from the 79th batch. My registration number is 25583. This is a short presentation of the internship project that I have undertaken in partial fulfillment of the diploma program in training and development that is offered by Indian Society for Training and Development. As part of the internship project, we had to first identify an area of interest and I selected training design, that is designing of a training program. My internship project is on designing a structured on-the-job training program for interns selected in the digital technology unit of Collins Aerospace in order to make them role ready as well as aligning them with organizational culture and values. The Collins Aerospace is a market leader in the aerospace industry. It specializes in aerostructures, avionics, interiors, mechanical systems, power and control systems, mission systems, and they serve a customer base across commercial, regional, business aviation, and military sectors. I completed my internship in the Digital Technology or the DT Unit India Design Center, which is situated in Hyderabad. DT focuses on enhancing employee and customer experience by connecting technologies, people, information, and processes. Now, before I talk about the objective of the project, let me explain in brief what triggered the need for training. So, the DT unit of Collins Aerospace conducts graduate hire drives in select technical universities. Candidates selected then undergo a training program called the Buddy program. This program is the organization's primary pipeline for filling entry level positions. Like typically every year 15 to 20 students are selected. Post completion of the buddy program, the managers expected a relatively easy switch for the interns from internship tasks to actual job tasks. But in reality, they observed that the interns lacked the required knowledge, skills, and attitude to perform their jobs and needed hand holding for a long time. So, the deviation from this expected performance is also reflected by key performance indicators. If we compare productivity levels in terms of average number of incidents that are resolved per month, we can see a marked difference between the graduate trainees and P1 lateral levels. Another example is SLA compliance. A comparison between the SLA compliance of graduate trainees and laterals recruited in the same job band. This shows that it takes the graduate trainees almost a year to reach SLA compliance levels maintained by the latter. This aspect clearly shows that the buddy program failed to equip the interns with relevant knowledge, skills, and develop their attitude to perform as per the prevailing standards. Now, the purpose or the objective of this study was to design a structured on the job training program for interns who are selected in the Collins Aerospace DT unit that focuses not only on developing the technical skills but also on mentoring the interns to develop their professional attitude. To achieve this, the first objective was to identify the training needs and do a detailed need analysis. Next was to define clear objectives based on the needs identified. This was followed by identifying modules, sequencing them, determining the appropriate training methods for every module. Next was to develop a training schedule by creating a comprehensive training plan. And this study also includes a high-level evaluation strategy for the OJT program. Now, I will describe in brief the methodology that I followed to achieve the objective of this study. So, for designing the OJT program, I followed the ADDIE training process model. Now, ADDIE is an acronym for the 5 major phases in the training process, which is analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. Now, since ADDIE model has clearly defined stages, we know exactly what action needs to be taken in each stage of the training process. The purpose of my internship study is training design, and therefore I have worked in depth in the first 2 phases, that is analysis and design. Now, if you go to training need analysis, so this is the first step of the training process model, and it's also the most important step as it helps to define the scope of the training in terms of the exact knowledge and skills and attitude required by interns to seamlessly fit into the graduate trainee role once they are hired as full-time employees. The training needs were identified from 3 sources. The first was the job description of the graduate trainees. The second, the first performance feedback report of the graduate trainees. And third, survey questionnaires. Okay, and I have used Likert scale in these questionnaires. Post need analysis, the training requirements were clustered into knowledge, skills, and attitude areas. These were used to derive clear objectives which have defined outcomes, defined conditions under which the expected behavior will occur, and standards that signify that the outcome is as expected. Now, objectives defined after analyzing the need analysis results were used as a basis of creating the OJT modules. This ensured that the training modules topics are consistent with the training needs. Module complexity and prioritizing modules that will equip interns with KSAs required to perform the initial job task were the major factors considered while sequencing the modules. Now, various training methods were also identified for every module. For example, job instruction technique and simulation. These were identified for batch job monitoring, incident change management modules. Demonstration was recommended for modules on SQL programming, on data warehouse management, and quality standards. Next, I have prepared a comprehensive 13-week training plan which lists all the elements of the training program. It is designed to outline the modules, organization of topics in the modules, learning objectives, learning points, training methods, tools, target population, strategy, methodology, whatever needs to be used when providing OJT to the interns. I have also designed a high-level evaluation strategy which is based on the Kirkpatrick evaluation model, and it has 4 levels. The first being measuring reaction, second is to measure learning, level 3 behavior, and level 4 measures results. So evaluations will be done at levels 1, 2 and 3 here. The evaluation process at each level has been described in more detail in the project report, but this diagram here on the left, this gives us a glimpse of the method and the timing of evaluation at each level. Analysis of data and results. So I identified and highlighted keywords in 3 sources. The first was the job description of P1 level employees. Second, the graduate trainees performance appraisal comments. And third, participant responses to one question in the survey questionnaire, which asked about any competency that the participant considered crucial for smooth transition from intern role to a full-time employee role. Now these keywords from these 3 sources were mapped into knowledge, skills and attitude areas. The table on the right, that's what it shows. Next, for each of the survey questionnaires, that is for managers, buddy trainers and graduate trainees, I grouped the questions based again on knowledge, skills and attitude areas. Then I represented the responses graphically and analyzed them. So on the right as illustrated, the manager response analysis indicates that the interns post-training did not demonstrate satisfactory levels in any of the case areas. Majority of the responses, as we can see, were unsatisfactory, need improvement or marginal. Following a similar trend, the buddy trainers and the graduate trainee responses also indicate that the interns post-training did not demonstrate good competency levels in majority of the case areas and required considerable development later. On the left is a sample of analysis which is done. The remaining questions of the questionnaire were about the existing training program. So the buddy trainers and the graduate trainees' responses were represented graphically in pie chart form and analyzed. Analysis here indicated that the questions which are pertaining to training structure, process, content had more negative responses than positive. Questions about trainers gathered positive responses. A sample of analysis done against each question in the questionnaire is shown here. Key findings. The key findings from the need analysis process conducted were training needs, non-training needs and design drawbacks of the existing training program. The training needs were immensely important as it helped to define the scope of the training. The KSAs shown here are the ones which are identified as training needs. These will actually enable interns to perform tasks that fall within the purview of the graduate trainee role. The survey responses have also uncovered non-training needs. These roadblocks should be addressed by the DT unit management. Reducing trainer workload, recognizing and rewarding the trainers, and raising awareness about the importance of developing interns as future employees of the organization will lead to a truly successful training program. The third are the design drawbacks. The problems that the participant faced in the buddy program were also identified. As illustrated here, the previous program was unstructured and failed to mitigate the training needs. These issues were addressed while designing the current training program to ensure that the OJT program follows a structured approach. Learning and recommendation. The learnings from this internship have been many. Designing a structured OJT program has built my confidence about my ability to apply the theoretical concepts that I have learned as part of ISTD Training and Development Diploma program to a real business problem. One of the key things that I have learned is that a robust and thorough need analysis is vital. The need analysis design process as well as the data collection may be time consuming but cannot and should not be compromised upon, as these are the very needs which form the foundation on which the entire training program is based. Another learning for me has been deriving unambiguous objectives that clearly state the desired behavior the intern is expected to demonstrate as a learning outcome. Next, I've also learned to create detailed training plan by taking into consideration multiple factors like modules complexity, priority, size, the fact that some modules provide prerequisite knowledge, skills to subsequent modules. Certain modules have to be covered as a subset of each module. For some modules, learning has to be an ongoing process and not limited to a fixed number of sessions. There are certain modules which require extensive hands-on training. So this was a key learning for me while designing this training plan. Another important learning from this internship is that there has to be constant communication and collaboration with the vendor team for clarification as well as taking consensus. Every important output needs to be reviewed by them. Making assumptions should be completely avoided as it only leads to rework. Talking about the recommendation, the first being the single knowledge reference point, which means that information regarding the various knowledge sources from which interns are expected to gain knowledge should be consolidated into a single knowledge reference point. This need not be an extensive learning portal or even a learning suite, but can be a simple web portal which provides links to various learning repositories available in the organization or even external websites but specific to the modules of the OJT program. The next is management support, which means that the success of the program depends on the extent to which management shows its support by reiterating the importance of the OJT program to the employees of the unit. Publicity about the importance and relevance of the training will keep the program visible and the trainers and interns motivated. The last being non-training needs that have been identified. These should be acted upon to unlock the true potential of the OJT program. Especially crucial here is to identify ways to recognize and reward OJT trainers who are adding immense value to the organization. This should be taken as a high priority action item for the DT management team. I would like to thank ISTD Collins Aerospace and my mentor, Mr. Preet Kumar Mahajan, for the guidance, support, and invaluable insights gained during the course of the internship project. Thank you.